Certainly has been an exciting couple of weeks now, hasn't it? I wanted to come on here and address some questions that have been coming our way. All good things going on. I wanted to also give some company updates about what's happening, the upcoming holiday hiatus, and more. We'll see what's going on. Firstly, to address the question that a lot of you have been asking me, no, the baby's not here yet. My sister was taken in last night about 5 p.m. to be induced. She was a day late, and she's nevertheless she's at that point in the pregnancy where she just wants the fucking kid out. The baby is responding well. There have been a couple complications, more concerns. I wouldn't necessarily label it complications, but there have been a couple concerns that have come up, but nothing that it hasn't been fairly common for people in my family. Like I said before, the main concern is that my family tends to have larger kids, and a lot of the complications and concerns come from the fact that the kids grow a hell of a lot faster than the mom can adjust. Baby's doing well. My sister is still at the hospital right now. Our mom is with her, trying to help her through this. She's only about halfway there. So, looks like they're going to be in a long haul. They were hoping for a C section, but looks like this doctor is going to push for a natural birth. We'll see how it goes. The baby as well. It's my understanding the baby's actually trying to kick off all of the little diodes and monitors that they put on my sister just to keep an eye on things. And I really should have turned down my phone. Oh, no worries. Nothing major. Let's see. What else was there? Ah, there was a woman who wanted to ask me if my family said anything about them coming for 2024. Now, just from the impression I got from this woman, they are trying to look for confirmation bias, which did not settle right with me. My case isn't of an official capacity when it comes to the ETs. I'm just a guy who's caught between multiple different worlds. Yes, there's arrivals coming for 2024. As for what capacity, you'll have to see what comes next. You have to also understand that everybody who's involved in this has lives of their own. Both us down here, as well as the ones upstairs. They all have lives and jobs they have to get to. It can not always be readily available to answer questions. In some cases, they're a little bit more open, but right now, just trust the process when it comes to that. Okay? Walden Bonkers has a couple more weeks of shows before we go on the holiday hiatus. It's going to officially start on the 18th this month and continue until the new year. Basically, Chris and I came to a decision our first year doing this that take breaks from time to time so we can cool off, especially if we feel like we're going to start strangling each other, but as well as realize lot of the guests where you try to line up are probably not going to be available because they have their own family obligations. This is about when everybody starts trying to slow down just to be there for family. As for me, being that I am the only official corporate officer when it comes to the company, days off don't exactly exist. But nevertheless, some good stuff is coming forward. There are discussions being done to potentially expand onto streaming networks. Exactly which ones, it's too early to tell. We partnered with what's called a film aggregator, which once we satisfy all the necessary technical requirements, they'll help us expand and take care of all of the distribution when it comes to the programs we produce. Some of the companies that are involved with this: Redbox, Gaia, Amazon, YouTube Movies. The purpose for this partnership was to help release more exclusive content, matters that need a little bit more focus than just gathering up on internet lives. And yes, we do have some guests coming about here shortly. We have All About Beer coming back on the 16th of this month, which will definitely be a good episode. This weekend, we're going to focus on dream phenomenon, as well as discuss a case where an ominous man appears in multiple people's dreams who seemingly have no connection whatsoever. It's not really a topic we've touched on much, aside from discussing occasional abduction phenomenon. It'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. As for whether or not we'll have some background interruptions, just remember, there's going to be a new baby around. And I'm going to just spend some of the holiday hiatus to soundproof the place. So that way I can go about doing my business and the baby's just going to be the baby. Only concern in that matter is keeping my goddamn cats off the soundproofing boards. I can't even keep this fucking green screen up for an extended period of time without them trying to tear it down. Very little bastards. Let's see. What else is there? Part 2 of the finale of Franson Files is coming together. Being that family's kind of on standby till we know for sure when this baby's going to pop out, I've been taking advantage of the peace and quiet to get caught up on that. And nevertheless, there's probably going to be some people that are going to be very disturbed by what that one's going to share. There's people that have expressed confusion and concern that I don't preach all the fancy stuff. I don't preach total, love and light. I acknowledge that there's some fucked up shit that goes down. And because of some of the guests that we're going to try to bring back for the new year, how they like to push forward, how they pursue their stuff, there was a misconception that we were all deeply connected, networking together. Yes, we're connected, we network, and from time to time we help each other out. But we operate how we feel is necessary to do our jobs. Which leads me into the books. We have a couple new books coming out here in the next couple months. The goal We actually have such a backlog coming through that we have at least one book a month coming up until the end of the next year. We have that many books lined up, and even more getting ready to come. We got some kids stuff. We got some stuff about spirituality. One of the new books that's probably going to freak out, the people who don't actually bother to read, is going to be titled In the Eyes of Satan. It's a book that's going to explore why people choose to follow dark worship. What is it that makes them go down that path? Is it all about power, money, fame, glory? Not always. Because, spoiler alert, most people who decide to go down that path have done so is because the dark side offered up acceptance that the light side completely lies about. Yeah, it's going to be controversial. I hope it bugs people. In the words of Chris Rock, please cancel me. We could use the publicity. It's not about converting people into a certain belief system. The progress of why we decided to push forward this book is to get people to realize what makes other people choose the lives they choose, what brings them to the decisions they make. If we're actually going to be able to come together, we need to get rid of any sort of us versus them mentality. That's it. Because the Satanists that openly express themselves, they go for the whole goth approach, the tattoos, the candles, maybe they got the Baphomet statues. They're not the ones you need to worry about. They're lost individuals looking for some sort of acceptance, just like everybody else. They're not the ones necessarily to worry about. Do they get involved in some sketchy shit? Sometimes. The worst reports of genuine Satanists that actually caused concern, there were heavy drugs involved as well. I can tell you some stories there. It's the one that hide it in secrecy because they know that if people knew what they were up to, nevertheless, yes, there's true evil out there. It's still there. But right now, everyone that is of concern, the evil, they're all assholes from this planet. So it's up to us to either accept why they go about that path, not pass too much judgment unless we absolutely know for certain that they've done something to harm people. The second book is a heavily censored version of my personal journals. And I say heavily censored was because when I posted some of the real details, the system kept crashing. Possibly due to connections involving certain entities, but we'll have to see how that story unfolds. As some of you know, we may have a membership here on the main company Bald and Bonkers YouTube channel, which seems that YouTube is scouring through our stuff, looking for excuses to take that away. So, in the event you want to still be able to support the show financially, we also have the Patreon page as well. There's different tiers, and if you decide to go for the $10 a month tier, you get access to digital copies of all of our books, especially ones that have not been released yet. You'll be able to get your hands on those books before they're even hit the final approval process through our printing partner. I definitely want to see the Patreon. We got a total of 15 books on there now. Which, like I said, as more new books come about directly from our company, the authors that decide to publish through us, they'll be given an option to have their books on there as well. As right now, it's an option to increase exposure, get their works out there. But all efforts to publish anybody else's materials, whether it's music, books, maybe even movies down the line when we have our own streaming network up and running, because that's still in gear, just not moving quite as fast as I hoped, but it is what it is. Everybody who participates will receive payments for their efforts. As for how much, that depends on how much the works perform. Nature of the beast, unfortunately. It's all bound by how well it performs. And in order to help promote those projects as well, we do have marketing avenues. We have ways to get press releases out there. We also have those services locked and loaded in case any of you need our help. The press releases are mainly focused on the US markets. We are looking for partners to try to get into Canada, the UK, Australia, anywhere in the world. So, I think that just about covers everything. So, like I said, recap. Baby's good. It's not here yet. Baby's proven to be about as stubborn as its mother. The grandmother was just in the chat earlier, I see. But so far, so good. I had mentioned this before. Because we anticipated some concerns to come up, my sister is with a doctor that knows the family history. So he knows what to expect. Patreon, we got new books coming out. We're going to have a new series coming out on different platforms. We'll have more information on that as it becomes available. Sheesh. I appreciate the love for y'all that are trying to stock new information out of me, but sometimes this stuff goes bam, 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 bam. Sometimes you can't really guarantee when the new information comes forward. It all comes in waves. Be sure to check out all the links in the description. If nobody has any questions, we're going to go ahead and sign off. I just wanted to hop on here real quick, answer some questions, get people to realize that I might be a little busy. And as far as getting the books or anything like that, everything is done to the best of our ability to have it automated. So that way, in the event we got to step away for a little bit, you can still get your shit. Unfortunately, that does make it more expensive in some avenues, but as the company grows, we'll see what we can do about fixing that. Anyway, much love. Stay safe, y'all. We'll see you here tomorrow we'll see if Chris actually been able to hold a somewhat serious discussion, go into the dream phenomenon, or if he's going to just start rambling on about his fantasies involving purple women. Hey, it wouldn't be Bald and Bonkers without a few dumb jokes. Turn off